Are you where you thought you would be at in your life at this moment in your life? That's the question. I was listening to Tony Robbins a couple of days ago, and he said this. He said that when your life conditions don't equal your blueprint, which your blueprint is where you think you should be, or how you think your life should be, or where you're living, or what car you drive, or what job you have, or what business you own. When that blueprint, that idea of where you think you should be does not match your life conditions, you're unhappy. And it's easy to fall into that. Like, one little thing can happen, I can think, oh, it's just like, I'm not where I should be. Why am I even putting up with this, and blah, blah, blah. Well, one way to gain perspective on that is to always look back and say, well, where was I a year ago? Where was I 2 years ago? Where was I 3 years ago? And hopefully you're in a different place. And if you've been taking action to change, implement new things, change habits, add habits, dump habits, then I guarantee you are in a different place. But if you're still in the same place, then I would highly suggest, if you want to be something different, or if your blueprint does not match your actual life conditions, then we got to do something about that, because there's a gap there. You know, there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. So in this gap, the first thing I want you to do to overcome this is to think about, what's your truth? Where are you right now? Like, be honest with yourself. Where are you health-wise? Where are you business-wise, financial-wise, relationship-wise? Where are you right now in your life? Be honest. Like, look in the mirror, be honest with yourself. Hey, if you got 50 bucks left in your bank account, or you're eating ramen noodles till next payday, be honest. This is where I'm at. The next thing I want you to do is to think about, what if 1 year from today, like we go forward 1 year, and you're able to look back and say, this was the best year I've ever had in my life. What if you were able to do that? What happened? Like, what did you do? How did you act? How did you show up every day? If it was the best year of your life, how did you go back? Like, what did you do? So write that down. Next, I want you to think about your why. Like, why did you want that, and why did you get that? Because if we can link your why to the things that you know you need to do and the person you need to show up as, then you're going to have a far better chance of hitting where you actually want to go. The last thing I want you to think about is the skills or the capabilities that you currently lack that would get you actually where you wanted to go. So you can close that gap between your life conditions and the blueprint, or the idea in your head of where you think you should be at this moment in your life. So do this exercise. This will help you gain some clarity. And when we have clarity, it can change everything. Like, I search for moments of clarity, because it changes my whole perspective on the way I see life. So if you've ever felt that, like, it's hard for you not to long for that feeling again, because it's something that you just feel so different, and it's like weight was been lifted off your shoulders. So I wanted to talk to you about this. Also, when it comes to your why, I just want you to also consider that it can be, of course it can be love. It can be love for your family, love for your spouse. It can be, but I also want you to consider that it can also be, oftentimes it's love. You know, oftentimes we'll do more for other people than we'll do for ourselves. That's just a natural human, and most people, you know, we'll go beyond our limits and stuff for others before we would do it for ourselves. So if it's love, that could be one thing. That could be one of your whys, is because you love your family and you want to provide a better life for them, and you want to have create experiences with them, and it takes money to create these experiences. Or it could be, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't just completely throw out anger, if anger is one of the fuels that fuels your fire. Like, maybe when you were younger, somebody said that you couldn't do it, or that, you know, why are you even trying that? You're just going to fail. Maybe you didn't have the support you needed growing up. Maybe that's going to fuel the fire. Maybe it just happened recently, you know. where somebody who just doesn't believe in you, you can use that to fuel the fire, to prove them wrong. And I think that can be way more powerful than love sometimes, if you really consider that and just dig deep. Because, I mean, that's something that, if somebody wants to mess with my family, I'm gonna get so mad that, like, that's anger. And so that anger, it would be pretty dangerous. And so you get what I'm saying. It's all out of love, but it can be out of anger too. And it could be towards somebody you're not even that close with. So John Assaraf, if you've ever heard of him, he owns a company called NeuroGym, and he studies brain waves and studies neurological things that happen in the brain, and he has meditations and stuff around that. But that's not what I'm talking to you about him about. But he wrote a book called Having It All, and in that book he talks about the horse whisperer. And I can't think of that guy's name, but you guys may know his name, so put his name in the comments if you know his name, just so I can remember. But he was the horse whisperer, and when he was a kid, he was in grade school or kindergarten, and the teacher was asking them to draw like a house of what they wanted, or like a house, or what is it that they dreamed about and wanted in life, like what did they want to become. So he drew this like big ranch, this huge ranch with horses and this big mansion that was on it. And when the teacher saw his drawing, the teacher told him, you need to be more realistic, because he came from a poor family, and he just grew up dirt poor. And some of you will probably know who this guy is. I'm sorry I can't remember his name. But many, many years later, that same school teacher who told him that was having a field trip. She was overseeing the kids on this field trip. And so this gentleman went and introduced himself to her, reminded her of what she had told him as a child. And she actually apologized and said, she can't believe she said that, and she'll never do that again. And so there could have been a little bit of anger behind that. I don't know. I'm just saying that anger can fuel the fire to just kill it and kick ass. So don't be afraid to use it if that's what it takes, if that's what you need. I have a little bit of anger and fuel in my tank from a situation that I had, and it was strictly through text messages, but it was somebody who I looked up to and respected, and they kind of, I became a little bit vulnerable and shared what my future vision that I thought I would be doing in the future, and it was kind of just stomped in the ground with one little text message, and so it lit a fuel, it lit the fire in my belly, and for that I'm going to do things that I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it. So I suggest that you use it too, guys. So yeah, I'm in my scrapyard, but I hope you got something out of this. And sorry I haven't posted much lately, just been busy killing it. We had a record-breaking season in our company. I hope you guys are breaking records too. So until next time, I've got something huge coming up. We are going to do something that I've never done before. And you'll see some stuff when I'll post about it, and you'll see it soon. I'm finishing building out a product right now. As soon as I get done with that, then I'm going to start on this. So it won't be long, because I'm relentless. And people who want to text message me bullshit and tell me that I can't do something just just fuels the fire in my belly. So guys, I hope you got a fire burning this summer, and I hope you're having the best year of your life. So we'll talk soon. Go make money.